Direct tax. Mr. Sanjay New Delhi has requested a motor cab to Supreme Ride for traveling New Delhi to Gorgon, Haryana after Mr. Sanjay pays a cab charges using his debit card. He gets details of his driver, Mr. Georgian, and his cab registration number. Super Ride is a mobile application owned and managed by DT Limited. In India, the application Super Ride facilitates potential customer to connect with the person and providing cab service under the brand name Super Ride. BG Limited claims that cab service provided to Mr. Johans and hence is liable to pay GST under the provision of Goods and Service Tax. The reference to the provision of IGST Act determine who is liable to pay GST in this case. Would you answer the difference if a DT limit is located in New York and also briefly state the statutory provision involved? A supply of services by the DT Limited through the cab driver, even though the cab driver is providing the service, it is through the mobile application of DT Limited. That's why located in India, and this service is provided to a person who is in India and in Delhi. So it is in CGST, SGST tax to be paid by the DT Limited and reverse charge mechanism because they are collecting the fare charges and reimbursement are remitting back to the driver. In this case, the same case it's applicable when the DT limited is in US. If it in this course it's the import of service, then the person who receives the service need to pay it in RCM basis. So Section 5 of IGST Act provides that the tax on interstate supply of specified service notified in the government shall be paid by the electronic common operator. Okay, and taxable trade such service are applied through service way of transportation of passenger by a motor cab supplied through e-commerce one of the notified service. In the electronic operator, commerce operator means a person who owns and operate manage digital electronic facility, a platform, a supply of goods or service or both, include digital products over digital and electronic network. Since the DT Limited owns and manages the mobile application to facilitate the supply of passengers and transport services and motor cabs over digital network, it is the ECO. The DT Limited ECO located in India, it's liable to pay GST in the given case. However, if the EQ does not have a physical presence in taxable territory, the person representing ECO is liable to pay tax. Therefore, the ECO is neither a physical presence nor the representation of taxable territory. The person appointed by the ECO, the purpose of paying tax payable tax, the car driver. A DT limit is located in New York, and any person representing DT limit for purpose of this India taxable to pay tax. Further, DT limit also does not need to represent in India. It shall appoint a person in India for the purpose of paying. Oh, they shall appoint a person in India for purpose of paying tax. Hence, a person shall be liable to pay tax because e-com industry now. So that's what. Okay. So Dave is a mining engineer. And he has crossed the They have crossed the threshold limit of registration as GST and is duly registered in the state of Maharashtra. He effect to follow transactions 1 month of March and he want to compute the tax payable in cash. He has filed LUT bond to claim the benefit of zero rate applies. The following are the particular furnished. So Sugdhya has been operating members in the mining and exploring service in Mumbai. He has provided certain services to joint venture in which he is also a participant. He believed to be consideration received from JV's joint cost petroleum is a cost petroleum not taxable. 12 lakhs not taxable exempted. He's purchased certain machinery from outside the state rendering service to joint venture Mumbai 6 lakhs. He had obtained a legal opinion from the local firm advocates enter into the 1 lakh the reverses mechanism. He has obtained the accommodation from a state government to locate his office close to the seashore. Accommodation 2 lakhs 18% GST as a portion of a petroleum slit as part of a compensation which is exploring the petroleum reserve in the Bombay High, which is as per the contract will be with the government as part of cost of petroleum and no one will. He sells the petroleum till to the SEC developer in a petroleum tilt that is taxable. I don't know, but considering receive any part of petroleum product, only the five things is exempt, other things are taxable. Consideration is received towards transfer of tenancy rights, which is according to the Shukdev is not liable to GST as he has suffered stamp duty. No, no, whatever tenancy right is taxable. On violation of the terms of the production sharing agreement, Shukdev has paid a liquidated damages to the government. So government they have paid fines are not liable to taxation. He has been assigned to right to collect royalty on behalf of Maharashtra government, Nexus royalty collection contract. He has noticed that the mining leaseholder sought pay 2 lakhs as a GST from what he had exempted to be under the assignment. Okay. He has sold a self-fabricated machine through his agent in Mumbai. He only used for 2 years a value which is not available in the open market. Agent said it's immediately unrelated customer. So he sold the market. So selling of his own machinery, it's an asset and sold. Okay. Mm, he sells his machinery, but he's not in the concern of business. But he need to pay a tax because if he can sell it, he can claim his input and he can sort of with his output. He can do it. Opening balance sheet forward creditors 12,000 cash ledger, calculate ledger CGS 18,000, CST 60,000. Okay. The value of supply is 19% and supply of goods is 5%. Okay. GST payable on outward supply. Consideration was the service provided by the operating members of joint venture. So 12 lakhs tax, oh, the 12 lakhs is tax, so 18%, 18%, okay. Compensation received from the petroleum silt exempted as the cost of petroleum is not considered as in service to contract and is not taxable. Sale of petroleum silt is also excel supply to SEZ developer. It's a zero rated supply, so not taxable. Good, good. Consideration for transfer of tenancy right taxable at 9%. The transfer of tenancy right to a new tenant against a consideration is a form of tenancy premium is taxable even through stamp duty has been paid for same. Sale of self-fabricated machine 9 lakhs 5% taxable. Since open market value of this not taxable, the value of which will be 90% of price charged for the supply of machinery for the commission agent of the unrated customer. 90 percentage. Okay. What is this? Okay, 90 percentage. Total tax liability. Legal services, as he said, a legal firm, so RCM is need to be renting of immovable property, RCM need to be. It has been assured the 10 lakhs, which is the agent selling the self-fabricated machines, unrelated customers known as to Sukhdeo at the time of his sale, the machinery to his agent. It has been assumed that the supplier has opted the value of the good at 90% of value charged by the agent for the unrelated consumer. It has been assumed that the aggregate turnover of Sukhdev is proceeding financial year have exceeded 20 lakhs. Assignment of the state government try to collect the royalty leasehold exempt to tax. Okay, IGST. Okay, okay. Okay. Input tax credit வந்து ஓப்பன் 18,000 60,000 இருக்கு. Interstate purchase 6 lakhs 30,000. Legal service 1 lakh அதுக்கு 9,000 9,000. Renting வந்து 2 lakhs 18,000. Assigned right to 2 lakhs எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்தோம்னா we have total ITC 49,000. And compensation tax payable 2 lakh. This 2 lakh now less IGST வச்சு கழிச்சு விட்டுறலாம். So 2 lakh 19,000 வந்து plus EGST, SGST. So forward liability, cash, forward charge liability and outward supply in cash after setup ITC 31,000. Reverse charge payable in cash without setting of ITC. Tax payable under the reverse charge being not an output tax cannot be set off against the ITC. Thus will be paid in cash 27, 12 lakhs. We paid in cash, okay. Then 58,000 and payment of a liquidation damages 3 lakhs. Since Section 49B of CGST Act, 100% of IGST credit of 2,90,000 will be utilized first before CGST SGST. Therefore, the IGST credit will be set off against CGST SGST liability in order on some portion. The final answer will be case vary. Mr. Rajveer is a registered person in Delhi. Is a business of selling goods relating to interior decorator under the firm name Rajveer and Sons. Okay. He's opted for composition scheme of financial year. Okay, his turnover is 80 lakhs and expected to achieve 1 lakh 30 lakhs in this financial year. Discuss this. Rajveer can still enjoy the benefit of composition scheme. His son Karan wants to start a business providing service related to interior decoration after completing post-graduation course interior decoration under the same name Rajveer and Son with the effect of 1st April 2024 and wants to enjoy the benefit of composition schemes under GST. Advice Rajveer and his sons. Okay, up to 1 crore 61.5 crores not an issue. Okay. So after that, if you do service which is less than 5 percentage of the total turnover, then it cannot 5 lakhs, whichever is greater. So as per Section 10 of CGST Act, the registered person whose aggregate turnover preceding fee is 1.5 crores. The state and union territory opt for compulsion scheme, provided that the inter alia, the aggregate engage in the supply of goods or restaurant service. However, the person who opts for compulsion scheme is permitted to supply services other than restaurant service value not exceed 10 percentage of turnover in the state or union territory in the preceding financial year or 5 lakhs, whichever is higher. In this case, the Rajpir and Sons engaged in the business and selling of goods relating to interior decoration is eligible for composition scheme 24-25 since aggregate turnover on the previous year is 18 lakhs does not exceed 1.5 crores. If the current is to start the business providing a service relating to interior decoration under the firm name MS Rajpir and Son, the sole proprietor need to first convert it to partnership form. Further, the new GST under the new plan is required to obtain. In this case, the firm can provide service relating to interior decoration up to value of 5 lakhs, 10% of total turnover of 5 lakhs, which is higher. They continue enjoying the benefit of the composition scheme of up to financial year 24-25. Okay. Mr. Rishi is registered as supply under GST in the state Maharashtra, provided the following information the month of January. Okay. Out supply of computers which is purchased from unregistered supply without any consideration to the from his brother-in-law in Ranchi market value 60,000. Mm, so gift has been provided. Supply of consumer 10 laptop to NK Limited, the state of Maharashtra, where he located, which is the state of Maharashtra. Maharashtra. See introduction to third party and 6 lakhs 18 percentage CGST provide the stock counting services to next impact services with GST in the state of with GST, whereas the place where stock counting is carried out in the Garden Mumbai. Maharashtra, Mumbai, both the same state only 80,000. CGST, SGST input. Service providing renting service to service apartment in Mumbai. Daily rent is 1,500 resident purpose 30,000. So resident purpose it's not taxable. Recovery agent is service provided by the MX Apex Finance, NVS of Delhi, 2 lakhs rupees IGST input. Advance received from the month for the few further interest supply intra-state. So 9 lakhs EGST, SGST. Inward supply advance received, no? And inward supply, the imported computer accessories from Korea and goods landed in Mumbai port reach the registration premises 5 lakhs GST 18%. Avail GTA service from Mr. Speed Trans and Kolkata regarding transport of goods for the rate is 5%. 5%, okay. Apart from the above, receive 15 invoices involve IGST of 1 lakh during this current year. Okay, okay. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, Rishi provide the following additional information. Turnover the previous year 21 lakhs. So we see liable to registration service sector liable to registration. Yes. He has no for 12 lakhs, 21 lakhs, and as per 40 lakhs as registration. He has availed the service of interstate transaction, the taxable value of 4 lakh at the rate of 14, 18%. Okay. GST, the transaction is liable to tax and reversal mechanism. So you need to pay the tax, then next month you can take payment of the same to be the supplier is not made till the current month overdue 181 days. However, the tax due under the said transaction is set to the government and credit available in the month of transaction itself. One of the 15 invoice above all invoices include IGST of 95,000 is uploaded by supplier and IGST are one return. All the invoice eligible for ITC. Okay, three. So we can take it. He has sent goods value 1 lakh to the job worker in the state of Kerala who further processed said goods and made direct supply 31st March from Kerala to buy a seat in Maharashtra. So it has became CGST, SGST. Out of the advance received for the future supply, 5 lakhs related to supply goods, rest related to services. Okay. Then that is advance money received na 18% into book charge. Rate of CGST 9%, 9% must rate received. All the amount given the exclusive for tax whether applicable for the information given below, you are required to compute the CGST and liability payable in cash CGS is GST name for the month of January as the cash payment which is possible. Okay. Computation of net GST in the month of January 2024. In particular, GST outward liability computers to supply to without considerations in nil so that because not a supply asset made without the consideration is also covered in the schedule one because the computer has been supplied to the unrelated person ITC has not been availed to them. Then good. Consignment of a laptop. Okay. Consignment of laptop supplied at the instruction of third party. Can supply to bill to ship to supply where the goods is delivered on the direct of third person. ZX computer, where the goods are deemed to be received by ZX computers or them. That's the supply in Tamil Nadu, the else in interstate supply. Okay. It's including tax. Okay. No. Stock counting service, CGST, SGST, MPEX in Gujarat. Receiving good or made by being registered establishment. Service apartment rented in Mumbai, the taxable service of value of supply of accommodation in 1000 per day exceeds per day. Oh, but residential complex na. Okay. A recovery agent received NBFC tax payable by the NBFC reverse charge mechanism. Okay. Exemption for renting dwelling using residential available after the entry to notification has not been provided basis view that the renting of a longer duration does not cover in the ambit renting for a day. Advance received from the inter supply tax on advance received by supply 5 lakhs will be payable time of issuance of invoice 5 lakhs. 9 lakhs, 5 lakhs. What's the any shoots order idea? Hmm. It has been assumed that Mr. Rakesh declared the job work of the business above as additional place of business. A job work is registered. Further, it has been assumed that the goods has been sold from the job work permits to the place at 1 lakh itself. Tax liability outward on the amount inward on the GTA service reverse charge mechanism. Import of computer 5 lakhs 90,000. IGST paid on computer. IGST and invoices received in the month for ITC claimed on the uploaded by the register IGST. And further, that is invoice not been uploaded. 10% of the eligible ITC can be claimed as input. I'm surprised about the lower of the claim. So lower of 10%, 95,000 and 5,000. So we get 95,000 plus 5,000. Reverse charge mechanism the pay பண்றதெல்லாம் accepted supply by total turnover. Condition to make supply the 180 days from the data ITC available the rate available to the outward supply does not applicable to ITC 4 lakhs 30,000. The computation of GST total liability less input to less reverse mechanical be paid in cash 43 rupees cash. Okay. MS all-in-one partnership firms registered supplier under GST is engaged in the providing various services on one roof. The concern providing following information pertaining to the supply made input services available during the month of March, providing direct selling agent services to Y Limited 4 lakhs. Um, Yeah. So, providing security services to ABC registered person GST, there was such provide security services to PS trust registered person, unregistered person under GST. One like we need to pay the GST. Providing renting of motor vehicles of Ambex to limited and value supply, including cost of fuel. So cost of then taxable. Providing renting of car vehicle, pretty and co and supply value include CF and CF and supply of the billing representation to a PQ and B in the law firm towards a consumer court case. Reversal mechanism. Determine the GST liability of EMS all in one that give necessary explanation treatment of the various terms and the rate of tax is 9 percentage and the warranty of vehicles 5 percentage. EMS all in commercial business on February. GST liability on EMS all in one. GST liability on outward liability, direct selling, CGST, SGST, security service, tax payable reversal mechanism as and then the security service provided non-body corporate registered person. Service service under the PS trust unregistered person taxes payable under the forward charge and security service provided non-body corporate. It's under the unregistered person. It is assumed the security service is service provided by way of supply of security service. It is assumed that PVC Private Limited pays tax under Section 9 of the CGST. Renting a motor vehicle as a which is including the cost of the tax payable versus mechanism as the recipient was a service provided by non-body corporate to body corporate and CGST pay CGST GST of IB renting to a CFO. It's in supply cost of the tax payable in the forward charge mechanism since the non-body corporate to body corporate. Total GST liability for outward supply is 46,000 46,000. GST liability inward supply availing more presentation from the service from the BP and Co. Law firm RCM basis we need to pay. Legal service provider partnership formed to advocate other than senior advocate and business owner. This is aggregate turnover up to such amount of preceding financial year makes eligible for exemptions for registration, like example from GST. As EMS and one started a business in February, it is turnover of the preceding financial year is zero and making it eligible for exemption for registration in the preceding financial year. Hence, the liable service provided too much exempted on the GST. GST liabilities inward supplies are. Okay. Mr. Yas is doing business in the state of Kerala, commenced in the business in the month of April and providing the following services. His interstate turnover the first two quarters as follows April where June 20 lakhs, July to September 100 lakhs. Okay, 120 lakhs. Okay. In this each quarter, the exempted supply is made by them is 25% of total turnover on set quarter. Since product supplied by them is eligible for the composition scheme, he is opted the registration under the composition scheme, which is effective from first April. Okay. You are required to compute the tax payable by the Yash and if he is a manufacturer, if he is a trader. Okay. 2 percentage, 1% need to be. So, as per Section 10 of CGST, either Rule 7 of CGST rules, as a registered person opting for compulsion scheme for goods pays at the rate mentioned in the current financial year, the levy as a manufacturer 1% GST, the turnover of the trader 1% of the turnover of taxable goods and supplies is service. The turnover in the case of register will not be considered determining the turnover. Mr. As a manufacturer, 100 lakhs and 100 lakhs, 50,000, 50,000. The master trader 75 lakhs because why 75 lakhs? He only 120 lakhs now on the 25 percentage is tax. Included. Every year, Infra Limited is a registered supplier under the GST. The state of Kerala is engaging in the construction of business. It is provided following information in the month of April. transferred one load of tiles from the branch in Cochin, Kerala, from the head office to Andhra, Kerala. Both places are under same GST, same GST, same GS registration. Okay. Not a distinct person. A distinct person provided pure labor service or contract of simple complex unit is not form part of an complex and consumer bank. Providing pure labor service to the construction of single complex unit is non-forming part of complex and the Bengaluru complex. Hmm. Ma, for a pure labor service to contract exempted supplier of the consignment of marbles in the territorial waters classic builders. The territorial waters located in the district of 11 nautical miles on the baseline of state of Kerala and 12 nautical miles baseline of state of Tamil Nadu. So which is near to Tamil Kerala. So Kerala is yes, okay, it is interested now. Received the advance of full, it received advance of full future supply of goods from consumer 70% related to future supply of services. So divided to 30% goods, 30% service, 70% service. Computer on the business purpose were which free of cost for unrated person based in Kerala. Purchased 2 years back at cost of 80,000 GST and WTV 17,000. Open market value 55,000. No ITC taken on the computer taken. So never that. So ITC not no problem. Inward supply availing services on the arbitration tribunal of Trivandrum, Kerala Satala case. Arbitration service exempted. Purchase of construction material from the Badu Steel Limited registered in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Taxable. Purchase in the new truck from the dealer in Cochin, Kerala's transport of material. Transport of material, goods, carrier, import can be available. News 16 and remuneration of independent director based on the Cochin RCMBC. We need to pay the tax and claim input. The company claimed depreciation under the income tax act 1961 new truck purchase including all application. Claimed depreciation and income tax on the new truck purchase including all applicable taxes. However, purchases input is not claimed, so it is capitalized totally. The invoice portal shows Bahu Steels Limited. The GST number has been enabled by Inox. However, supplier did not issue invoices or invoice reference number. The invoice is reckoned just to be. Turnover of premium for 180 lakhs taxable person. Net of CG 1818. All the amount given is exclusive of tax. However, the applicable from the information given, you are required to compute the minimum net GST liability. The GST by forward charge mechanism. Transfer of tiles is comparable. It's a supply branch is not exempted. Interstate supply and pure labor contract is exempted actually. The service by way of pure labor contract construction original works put into single residential unit. Otherwise, the residential complex exempt. However, since service related to cost commercial unit is accepted. Okay. Supply of consignment of territorial water where the place of supply is a territorial water. The place of supply is deemed to be the coastal state where the nearest point is appointment baseline is located. However, this place of supply will be Kerala has been near to the baseline, hence the supply will be interstate supply. Received advance from the customer in Kerala, the tax is payable on advance of goods. In the case of goods or tax is payable on the time of issuance of the invoice is not the time of receipt of advance. Invoice so 70 percentage for the goods and 30 percentage of the service மட்டும் goods மட்டும் தான் service மட்டும் போட்டோம் goods போடல. Computer given free of cost to 100%. The ITC not been taken on the computer. Permanent transfer of same without any consideration to the unrated customer shall not be amount to deemed supply. Since Schedule 1 GST Act, further there is no ITC has been taken. The question of relevance ITC is remain useful life of computer. Okay, ding ding ding. As input refer to CGST first utilize the payment GST, then the payment of IGST in order. Similarly, the CGST credit was being first utilized for CGST, then the payment for IGST. Mm, Net output is to the GST payable reverse charge mechanism service provided by tribunal Reverses mechanism for the taxable. Okay, remuneration paid to director is taxable. Okay. Cash. So, minimum of GST payable and cashable amount. Computation for ITC available to pre-I and arbitration service input available. In aggregate turnover threshold limit on registration previous year is exempt from GST. That's the service provided with arbitrary to pre-I implemented the business entity. Those aggregate turnover is previous year. Exceed the threshold limit for the registration. So 20 lakhs has been the supplier for goods and service in the state of Kerala shall be liable to tax further for the course of other of business purchase of material from Bahu Steels, e-invoicing without INR is not treated as the invoice hence is valid documents. ITC cannot be claimed to the input. Purchase of truck and the motor vehicles used for transportation of goods is eligible for credit. However, since depreciation has been claimed in the applicable taxes, will ITC tax paid on the purchase that cannot be claimed. Payment of remuneration to independent directors based on coaching service provided by the employee to employee in the case of employment is not apply. However, the independent director is not an employee of the company, hence the remuneration paid to him is taxable. Further has been service used in the course and furtherance of business is ITC taxable. Um, yeah. Hmm. A2X Service Limited, registered under GS, engaged in providing various services to various education institutions. The company provided following information in respect of the service provided during the month of April 23. The transportation of students and staff, love all to deemed university. Exempted catering service provided to rank CBSE school. Service to CBSE school exempted. Security service provided to the Win CBSE schools. The annual sports day held in the sports complex owned by the government of India. It's taxable. Supply of online periodical science journal to merit CBSE school and higher education exempted. Service in relation to placement of students to skill government organized vocational training program exempted. Comment on the taxability of the transaction of GST and the correct legal provision. So transportation of student and staff as per deemed university schools exempted. The taxable of transportation provided to education institution exempt to only such institution is in preschool education, higher education and school. So college is taxable. Catering service to rank CBSE school. The catering service is exempted. Education institution providing preschool education and education up to higher education, higher secondary schools equivalent exempted. Service provided to Win CBSE for the annual sports day held in Sai Complex. So, second service provided to education institution provide preschool education up to higher secondary schools are exempted, provided that such exemption performed in the premises of such institution. However, in this case, the security service are being provided outside the school campus and hence amount is taxable. Supply of online periodical science journal to school for higher secondary students taxable since education institution provides service by way preschool education and education up to higher secondary schools or equivalents are not eligible for exemption in the respect of the supply of online education in general. Taxable, okay. Preschool education or higher education, it's not eligible for exemption. Okay. Service relating to placement of students and government recognized vocation training taxable. Not taxable since the service related to admission and conducting exams are exempted, not vocational education. Okay. Mr. A2 is the proprietor firm registered to GST is engaged in providing various services. One roof. The firm provides the following information pertaining to main input available to the amount collecting for loading, unloading, packing a warehouse operator chiefs taxable. Fees paid to yoga camp conducted for charitable trust registration of income tax or by for employee of its firm. Mm, Yoha camp taxable interest received from the fixed deposit exempted. The professional service provided to foreign diplomat mission located in India. Foreign diplomats, export of service taxable. Export of service exempted service. Recovery agent services provided to ABC Finance Limited, NBFC located in India, taxable 1 lakh. Security service provided to car body corporate RCM basis. Receipt from the running of education institution, including the receipts for providing residential dwelling services, 18 lakhs for by institution to students. Yeah. So supply value including cost of fuel for providing renting a motor vehicles for NPF acceptable by explanation for CGST 9% renting of vehicles 5%. Loading and unloading 9%. As in loading and unloading of packing warehouse of agriculture product exempt. However, potato chips not agriculture product. Fees paid to your camp service provided to charitable trust and only of income tax by your investment. Your high exempted. Okay. Interest received from the fixed deposit exempted. Service we did exempted with debt free fixed deposit as far as consideration representation by interest are exempted. Professional service provided to foreign diplomat mission 9% not exempt, but the IGST la okay. Recovery agent provided to ABC body corporate, and since service being provided to NBFC, tax was same payable receipt NBFC under the reverse charge mechanism RCM basis. Security service provided XYZ to registered person. Since it being a provided non-body corporate to board registered person, and the tax is payable on a receipt basis under RCM basis. A receipt on running an education institution, including receipt of research and dwelling service provided by the education institution service by way of renting a residential dwelling for use of residents are exempted. So it has been logically assumed that education institution different than the notification 12 2017, and further the balance received and running the education institution it's provided to service provided to its students and staff facilities. Alternative, it is assumed that the motor vehicle is a designed and carry passenger renting of motor vehicle service. Such service are renting motor vehicles, including cost of fuels and taxable was 5%, being provided by the non-body corporate of body corporate taxable. Same is payable at the recipient. Alternative is 5% taxable. Okay. Designed to carry passenger na 5% GS 18% bottle. Okay. In the case of transportation 1 and 2 below, determine the amount received are liable to GST. Briefly explain the application of statutory provision of support conclusion. ABC is registered bank recover check discounting charges 5,800 from consumer. Check discounting charges is actual DAD, but the amount is exempted. The limited is a dealer, air conditioner unit listed prices 30,000 per unit is also EMS scheme for the consumer. The delivery of air conditioner monthly at 10,500 payable installment. $600 for the delay. The payment is monthly installment and amount is recovered from the consumer. Venkat is delay of payment is two installment. That in the penalty amount is chargeable to same GST. And the aerospace airlines have registered the place of business in Mumbai in under GST issue and ticket from London to Delhi to Mr. Karnakana, resident in Agra, UP is not registered under the GST. The place of supply. Mm. No. Okay, check the discounting exempt GST on the exempt consideration is discount any charges for another discount is not exempt from GST. The charges account check discounting is liable to GST. It is the answer. It has been mm, assume the check discounting charges is an service charges collected over and above the discount. Therefore, it has been possible to assume that the charges are as a percent the discount amount in the case of charges to be exempt from GST. Service to extended deposits, loans, advances, and advances so far as considered representing the of interest is exempted. Extra charges recovered for delay of payment the second month taxables, including the value of supply, air conditioner, the place of supply of the passenger Transportation is Ajit Khanna is an unregistered person is London that is a place where the in practice can count to continuous journey. Thank you.